Hey, welcome to the Strong Network podcast with me, Dr. Carla Michelle, your host. And I have a special guest today. I will introduce her in 2 minutes. But first, before we get started, I want you to remember that there is benefit in sharing the Strong Network podcast with your family, with your friends, with those you love, with those you don't. They will benefit from what we define strong as the strategy, talents, how to be resilient, optimistic, the power in being knowing that you're necessary, and the G, going global, standing on the stage of your life and letting your light shine for the world to benefit. As our guest, our guest speaking, but our guest is standing in her light in so many ways. Chaz is a Haye is who I have on the line, and she's a associate marriage and family therapist, and she lives in Southern California. She's a native, and she resides in Long Beach. She is a wife. She's a mother. She's a business owner. She's a school counselor, and she owns an streetwear clothing line with her husband called LA Raw. Or is it Law Raw? No, it's LA. Is it LA Raw?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
LA Raw, because it could be Law Raw, but it's not.
Yeah.
Chaz and her husband participate in various pop-up shops in the LA area for Black businesses. Their designs are sold in Soul Folks, which is in Leimert Park,
Hmm.
and has been worn by Issa Rae on HBO Insecure. Can't wait to hear more. And also works as a school counselor and is studying to become a licensed marriage and family therapist. On her free time, she enjoys doing yoga at the beach and spending quality time with her son and her husband. Welcome, Chaz.
Hi.
I'm so
So happy
glad.
to be here.
And I'm so glad to have you. I'm so glad to have you. We're going to be talking about balancing work and owning your business. But not only do you balance work and own a business, you're a mother,
Hmm.
you're a wife. Oh, wait, and you're a woman. So,
Yes.
right? So
Yes. It's a
talk to
lot.
us. Talk to us. Tell us what I didn't tell them.
Well, I mean, I pretty much got it covered. Those are all the hats that I wear. That is what I do. That's what I have to balance. On top of just being, a human being and having to
Right.
take care of myself and all of that goes with that. Um,
I have a
so
question. Oh, what, you
yeah,
got something?
yeah, go ahead.
I want to know because, one of the things, as a wife and a mother, sometimes we forget we're women. I mean, you know what
Mhm.
I mean? I'm going to say
Mhm.
that loosely because
Mhm.
everything is going on in our lives, husband, child, work. Because not only do you work, you also run a business.
Mhm.
So, how are you finding time to do all this? What is your time management skills? Do you pray? I mean, how do you do it?
I definitely pray. I definitely and I use calendars as I think um most of us do. Hold on a sec. Okay. Yes, so I use like a work calendar separate from my LA Raw calendar. Because that's just what works for me. I think you have to find what works for you.
Definitely.
Um, so having the separate calendars really helps. Checking in with, I mean, I work with my husband on the business, so we're constantly checking in with each other, making sure we are planning for what's ahead. Um, that really helps. And then I mean, my boss actually told me this when I started working for him, and it really changed my mindset about time, which
Mm.
is we have 24 hours in a day. Everybody has 24 hours, and we have 8 hours to sleep, we have 8 hours to work, and then we have 8 hours to do whatever we want.
Mm.
And I didn't realize that I have 8 hours actually besides work and sleep to do. I mean, yes, we have to take care of the home and do all of these other things, but that actually is a good amount of time. So if you work that 8 hours, I think to your advantage, and give yourself grace for when you're too busy or just need to rest. I think that that's really important.
Wow, my mind is over here going. Dang, I got 8 hours. You don't see it like that.
Right, you don't.
You work and sleep, but there is 8 hours there.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Oh,
kind of crazy.
yeah. I'm serious going like, dang. Okay, I'm sorry. Wow, listeners, we got 8 hours. What are you doing with your 8 hours? Oh my
Right.
gosh. That's helpful. So then that's how it's been helping you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just put it into perspective. I also heard I loved the strong acronym, and I think staying optimistic is also a big strategy of mine. Just my mindset about having to work, and also my mindset about vending at the pop-up shops and designing clothes. I enjoy doing all of those things. So I see it as like I get to do these things, not so much I have to.
Right. I think that's a big difference is
Yeah.
that getting the opportunity and not being forced. So even with work
Hmm.
well, work. So
Yeah.
let's say the school counselor.
Yeah.
How did you start getting into that and how do you work that with business?
You actually got me into that.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
with
well, I did. Okay. I know now. You said school counselor, so I'm missing that part. But yes,
yeah.
yes, you're liking it? It
Yeah, I
works?
do. I do like it. I love that I get to work virtually.
Yeah.
That's a game changer. So I don't have to spend so much time in my car. There's no commuting. I get to pick up my son from school. I get to schedule my clients what works for me. So having that flexibility in my like day-to-day job really helps.
Now, gosh, I forgot that you did work with that. We can
Yeah.
say the name, but yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So you're with Anchor. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
remember working with them. I did a few years
Yeah.
and I worked a full-time job and I was going to school and getting my doctorate. So
Right.
yes, there is those 8 hours. So, yeah, so perfect, and it's great because you do get to impact kids in a different way,
Mhm.
and not have to go school to school and home to home, but you're able to connect. That's virtual is the best thing. Do you think that? And not just
Really,
in-
it
not just
really
in
is.
school counseling, but the best thing in the life of having work-life harmony. You can,
Definitely.
right? Oh my gosh. So I'm going to ask you this because I'm going to skip around and you
Yeah,
can
go
talk
ahead.
as much as you want. We got to talk about Issa Rae and
Yeah.
Insecure. How did that happen? And and tell us about your designs and have your way.
Oh, yeah. So that happened right before their second season. So I had just had my son. I think it was like 2015, 2016. And I really used social media to my advantage. And the late hours that I was staying up, like taking care of my son and doing my master's program, I
Peace.
I you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, where you're just up late working and doing things. So I use that time to my advantage, and I use social media to my advantage. And I love that we have so much at our fingertips. Just as far as like being able to contact people and having opportunities just presented to us through posts and things. So I went on like a little like Instagram investigation, like Instagram stalking really, where I was just like looking at the show, and I found out who styled for the show at that time, and her email was right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just right there. And so I was like, wow, like I just found this woman's email. I'm just going to take a shot. Why not? And so I sent her some of our designs. At that time, we had like a lot of Ankara, which is what they call just like authentic African wax print.
Hmm.
And they liked our bra top for Issa, and they also liked our Huey P. Newton graphic tee. So she said, "Yeah, can I use this for the show?" And of course, we were just elated. We were freaking out. and, and I sent them just, I took that as like another opportunity. So I just I packed up a huge box for them. We gave them more than what they asked for. And then they used a couple other pieces in the show too. So they used like a couple of our graphic tees. Oh, I don't know what that was. Sorry about that. and yeah, so I just sent them a huge box, and they ended up using more than what they first intended. We were in the preview for season 2, so it was just really exciting.
Oh my gosh, that's like
Yeah,
people definitely pray for moments like that and
yeah.
for that to happen. I mean, how did you feel? I mean, you said you're happy and but did you feel that you deserved it, or did you like, oh, this is, because some people go with the imposter syndrome, even though it's what you've created and what you've done, and you were the one chasing this down, or you were the one not chasing, but looking for opportunity. What happened to you psychologically?
That's a really good question. I think I was initially just really proud. I was actually just really proud. Luckily, I don't feel like I had like imposter syndrome. It's something that we've been working on for so long, that I did feel like we deserved it. Um, it was really like gratifying, and it made me see my power because it was just like me reaching out, right? It was just me finding something, finding a contact, and it working. So it just made me really realize, it made me brave, really. Yeah.
Love. So how has that helped you and where you are now? Because that's what,
Yeah.
4 years, 5 years ago, 6 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Um,
what would you tell someone who was in your shoes now? I mean, how could you encourage someone to keep going? I mean, did they like ask for more, or did you just the doors open, or you just had to keep getting back in there and putting your head and your heart into what you're doing?
I would say I would say both.
Okay.
Um, I would say that there was moments when, I mean, actually, yes, definitely it opened a lot of doors. All we had to say was, we were on Insecure, and then people wanted to see our designs or wanted us to, um, you know, it legitimized the
Mm,
brand.
okay.
And now we're in stores. We weren't in stores before. Now we can make more sales on our own because it legitimizes us. It lets people know that, when you get your stamp of approval kind of from Issa Rae, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. Definitely. So
yeah.
when you design, tell us about like the creative process and
Hmm.
tell us about the creative process.
Yeah. So my husband and I are actually just naturally very creative people. So we're constantly getting ideas. He'll come to me and be like, I really want to do this. And I'll say, I've been thinking about doing this. So I think we're just constantly getting ideas and inspiration just from life. And our mission for our clothing is to uplift humanity. So we want to do really positive graphics, good quality clothing, things that, and we also use mud cloth from Mali so that we like connect the diaspora as well in our designs. So it comes from our heart, it comes from our purpose and our mission, as well as us just being creative people and loving fashion and just wanting to create different clothes for people.
Wow, it's like when you're talking, I'm like, it's like they're birthing little clothes babies everywhere.
Yeah. Definitely. I was thinking about that because it definitely is our baby, because it's something that we've watched grow. It's something that we have to, constantly cater to and work on and want to improve. So yeah, it's definitely it's like our other baby.
Love it. you working with your husband,
Uh-huh.
what advice would you give someone who's looking to either work with a partner or a spouse or,
Yeah.
someone just a business partner? What advice can you give, if any?
Yeah. Ooh. Patience. Just a lot of patience. It is. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's a blessing just to be able to work with each other and being able to, we don't have to go anywhere to get this work done. And that kind of is just like with convenience sake and being on the same page, I think, with your partner, I think it can be really beneficial. But as far as like the conflicts that arise, of course, you're going to have more conflicts because now you have business conflicts as well. So making sure you're trying to separate those things. Don't have a rule, and you have to have different rules in place. Like we try not to go to bed angry.
Mm.
Um, and I would say usually, I mean, we've been together for so long now. We've been together for like 12 years now. So I think we're pretty good at resolving things too. Um, but yeah, I would just say patience and boundaries, like setting boundaries for your home so that you're not talking about business all the time, and so that you're not there's a place to have those conversations.
That's excellent because I think you can, you do have to have those boundaries because it could just bleed into each other. I could imagine
Oh yeah.
when he doesn't pick up his socks one day and then you're like, see, and this is why I can't create with you because no,
Exactly, yeah.
just bleed all over the place with different things. How has your being in the mental health industry, how has that helped you in business or as a woman
Mm.
or as a wife or as a mother or whatever area you would, as a Black woman, a woman of color,
Hmm.
identity?
I think it's helped me a lot actually, just in the terms of patience, because my students have had like stretched me in different ways as far as having to be so patient with them and their parents and giving time and listening. I think it makes me a better, all of those things. It makes me a better woman, a Black woman, businesswoman, all of those things. It makes me also very mindful of people because I talk to so many different people. And just understanding humanity and understanding people, I think definitely helps in all aspects of my life.
Good. I mean, that's like that emotional intelligence, the
Yeah.
empathy. You mentioned patience, and I know when I was working as a school counselor, they have and the therapy that we did was usually with those on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Having that patience and having that understanding and learning, you're right, learning so much about others, it really has helped me even in my coaching business to see things from a wider lens
Hmm.
and things of such. So when you look at your son and him seeing mom and dad and their creative powers and mom doing her thing, and what is it, the thing that you really want to leave with him in that
Mm.
every day? What impression or what impact are you looking, if you have one? I keep saying
Yeah.
one because I'm not forcing this on you.
No, definitely. I want him to know that he can do whatever he sets his mind to and that he just needs to work hard. I want to show him the value of hard work. I also want to show him that you can enjoy what you're doing, to find your passion and to go for it. I hope that he's getting all of those things.
Yeah. you know
Yeah.
Probably is. I've seen you on Instagram, and listeners, she's at Hey Girl Haye, and that's HeyGirlHaye.
Yeah.
Girl, Hey Girl Haye, and she's at laraw.net. That's her website. But Chaz, when I see you posting your son. He seems like very intelligent and very energetic.
Yes.
So, what do you eat or to stay, on top of all that you do? Is there some
Oh, wow.
place or exercise or should I just not ask you that?
That's so funny. No, I honestly, like, it's gonna sound funny, but following people like you and like people who are fitness people and people who like make all these drinks and have all these suggestions, that's actually really inspiring because I'm not naturally one of those people.
Mm,
Uh, so
right?
that motivates me definitely to see others doing it. So be selective of who you follow. Try to follow people who are doing the things you want to do. But I have a gym membership, so the times when I don't have like students, right, I try to like just drop my son off at school and then go right to the gym because that just gives me energy for the day. If I start the day moving,
Mm,
that really helps. And then eating, I like to just oh wow, I'm somebody who likes to indulge.
yeah.
I'm somebody who likes to indulge. I'm somebody who likes to treat myself a lot. But also we at what was that?
I like when you said a lot.
A lot. Yes, we do. But also we like just like real whole food, I think is my thing.
Mhm.
um if that makes sense, just making sure, we shop at Costco to try to eat like the most organic as possible, and they have like a lot of organic meat, and just making food at home too helps.
It really does. All this talk
Yeah.
about food made me think of our master's program because that's all
Yeah. That's all we did.
we
Yeah.
ate in our classroom or that school as a whole. That was like part of their value and mission. It was like
It was.
food, sharing. I think
Yeah.
weight do we gain? I don't know with school, but that was one of the things of food and different types of food and sometimes the same food um,
Yes.
over and over. But food is so it has such power of bonding, you know,
Hmm.
souls, and it's so satisfying to our souls and I mean there's some times where it's just the meal that can make me have a better day.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Right?
It's very true. It can make or break you. So like that's what I mean. I would like don't be afraid to treat yourself every once in a while. Don't be afraid to give yourself that meal that's gonna make your day.
I so agree. I would
Yeah.
like here we go. I'm talking like we're on the phone. But last Hart Kevin Hart has a restaurant out here. I don't know
Ooh.
restaurant, but it is a restaurant because it's small, but it's like McDonald's or something like that, but it's plant-based,
Oh wow.
right? And I am so happy because I think that's the only focused plant-based location where in my city, and it's a
Mm,
town, so I'm glad it's here.
yeah.
They're putting up a Raising Cane and an In and Out and something else. They're putting up so much stuff around. Oh, at Chick-fil-A,
Oh
all
wow.
coming to this town, and I'm so glad that Heart put that. It's called
Something.
something, the Heart or something. But then I had a
Oh nice.
chicken sandwich and a plant-based Oreo cookie shake, and
Yum.
so that felt good. It felt really good. So enough about me and food. So. Chaz, is there anything else like you want the listeners to just know about you or about LA Raw or about, where you set up your
Oh yeah.
yeah, your pop-ups?
Yeah. I'll talk about the pop-ups a little bit. So every month we do a pop-up called Black on the Block. And right now it's at the LA Convention Center in downtown LA. They've moved locations a couple times, but it's huge. They have 100 plus Black owned businesses every time, which is so amazing. They usually have more things going on, like DJs or somebody performing as well. It's an all ages event, so you can bring kids too. They also have like alcoholic beverages if you want to turn up a little bit on a Sunday. So it's really fun. And then there's also Black Market Flea, which that will be happening in December. They don't have a date yet, but if you just look up Black Market Flea on Instagram, that's a huge pop up. There's usually about 100 plus as well. And they have like a skating rink and all
What?
types of fun stuff. And then we're also going to vent at an event on December 10th called Come Up LA. And that is another Black pop up shop. They had one last year. That was actually one of the first Black pop ups in LA to start. So I'm happy she's starting up again. That's going to be December 10th at Fig and 7th. So Figaro and 7th in downtown LA.
So how do they find you?
It'll change every time. So find if you want to just follow us on Instagram, or even just sign up for our mailing list
Ooh.
on laraw.net.
Mhm.
And we send out, our mailing campaigns and let you know when we're going to be at a pop up.
And then they just can find you, walk around and find you. Is there something that how would they know it's you? Like, is it saying LA Raw?
Yeah, yeah. So our tent says LA Raw. It says for the upliftment of humanity, LA Raw.
Mhm.
So our tent's a white tent. We're usually, yeah, it really depends on each event. You can be switched around. So we usually put the map up on like social media on Instagram and like circle where we'll be. So if you follow us on Instagram and get on the MailChimp, you should be able to locate us pretty easily when the events come.
Do you have drinks? No, I'm just kidding.
The events usually do have drinks.
Your
Yeah.
I was like,
No, our tent. No.
helping you
That's
lure people over,
yeah. I gotta I gotta be conscious when I'm doing business.
giving stuff away and don't even realize it.
Exactly.
Buy you a shot, Chaz, and next thing you know, all your product is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I get too nice.
So our topic today was balancing work and owning your own business, as a woman, a wife, a mother. Is there any nuggets that you would love to leave with the listeners, those who are thinking of starting something,
Hmm.
trying to figure out how to juggle everything? It's open.
I would say don't be afraid to make mistakes and just do it. Like just go for it. So many people sit on an idea and just wish and hope that they did this one thing and then years pass,
Mm.
right? Time really, don't just sit on it, just try. We've made so many mistakes, we've made so many bad clothes before getting to the point of being insecure. So I would say don't be afraid to make mistakes, don't be afraid to try, because that's how you're going to learn. So just put yourself out there, keep trying, don't give up, and really use all these things to your advantage. We're living in a great world with social media and all these things around where we can really grow our businesses. So just take advantage of all of those.
I love that. Don't just sit on
Yeah.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna have to put that in the title. Don't just balancing work and owning your business. Don't just sit on it,
Sit
because
on
it's
it.
true. That's amazing, Jazz. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your 8 hours that are yours and
Yeah.
spending, 30 minutes here on the Strong Network podcast. And it's just so warming to have this time with you, spending those years in our master's program, and now, seeing all the great things that you're doing and the impact you're making in the schools and in your home and in your community and abroad, even in the entertainment industry. So congratulations. I'm so, if I can say this, proud of you, and
Thank you.
just admire all that you're doing and all the good that's coming your way, even more so. I can't wait to see somebody wearing your stuff at one of these awards, or you never know. I mean, never know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and share this episode. If you know someone who's looking to start a business or learning to balance life, work, and trying to looking for harmony in their life, this episode is for them. And Chaz, thank you again
Thank you so much.
for all you've. You're so welcome. And listeners, thank you. And I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Strong Network podcast.